I know I'm a pretty face, but there's more than what meets the eye.
Did anything change about my mental health? I always thought that I had control over things, and motherhood showed me that it is absolutely not true.
A united front is what we want to strive for. So even calling each other out in front of the kids is an issue that we've talked about.
Welcome to Adulting with Joyce Pring. Watch the full video of this episode on my channel, www.youtube.com/JoycePringTV. And if you want to level up your adulting game, check out joycepring.com/collections for my digital products and courses. Bakit? Alala kasi nang hingang mo isa mo.
Here we go.
Ano sasabihin mo? Sige nga.
So pagbalik natin ng Australia.
Baba!
Hindi
Tama
totoo,
na
ito
yung
na pagbalik na.
Australia. Tama na.
Hindi, ito na.
Okay.
So there were a couple of awkward days of so what do we do now kind of thing. Bumili tayo ng furniture.
Okay.
Diba? Tapos I spent a whole day building
Yes, that's true.
furniture. Alam mo ba, nakita ko kasi sa isang mga reels, syempre not a credible source, but it's I find it helpful.
Okay.
You know, one thing that you can save money on is by doing it yourself.
Okay.
And so I did. I built 3 cabinets by myself. And that's adulting.
To be fair, those cabinets and bookshelves were from IKEA. So they were really made for you to build them.
Oh, thank you so much, IKEA, for letting me feel like a professional. Kahit din sa mga sandali na yun. It was very fulfilling.
But well done, because this is my first, I think, proper bookcase that I've ever had. I've never had a proper bookcase in my life. As in, lagi ko lang siya pinapatong kung saan-saan around my apartment. So now I have a proper bookcase. Well, anyway, speaking of adulting, for today's episode, tayo ay magsasagot ng mga parenting questions. Because we're such experts. Charing. We're not at all.
We're not.
Super not at all.
Experiential yung takes namin in life.
Lahat to anecdotal, guys, and experiential. So please take it with a grain of salt. We have 2 very, very, very young children, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. So you can say that we are also babies in the parenting game. But by God's grace, we have been surrounded by wisdom-filled parents who have parented adult children who love them. So, yeah. Okay, game. What is the best part of being a parent for you?
The unconditional love that we get from them.
That's true. Ako, the unconditional love that we get to give them. And to see them, grow and flourish because of that. One of the reasons why, because of that unconditional love. Parang you can really see it. And parenting is tricky because it's both beautiful and terrifying in the sense that all of the good things that I see my child does or my children do, I see it as a reflection of myself and of Juancho as well. Like, I would hear Eliam use big words and express himself in full sentences. I hear him be articulate and, be advanced compared to other kids. And I'm not constantly comparing, but because people are always pointing it out, parang napapansin din namin na, oo nga, no, Liam is very good at expressing himself and speaking and things like that. So seeing all those positive things, beautiful, wonderful. I feel like that's an expression of how we are also as parents. But you also see him be impatient and ungentle and he gets to pick up on all the other negative things that I hate about myself or I don't like about Juancho. And it makes us reflect on how we can be better in being parents and being individuals in general because of that.
Yeah, totoo. Actually, marami pa akong pwedeng idagdag dun sa yung good things that what are the best parts of being a parent? I mean, pero yun nga, I'll stick to that number 1 lang muna. Moving on. Oh. Oh.
Actually, it's easier eh.
Oh.
Because then I don't have to take care of 3 babies. It's just 2 babies. So of course we miss Juancho, but I've told you this to your face many, many times, and I say it's better for me if you're out and working. Because it's just easier to manage the schedule when I know your schedule. Like, so if the thing is, the most complicated part about being married to Juancho is the food that he eats. So if, for example, okay,
Parenting, ha? Parenting.
oo, kasama ka dun sa parenting.
Oh,
If, for example, Juancho's not around, okay lang kung monggo lang yung ulam namin. Kung yung monggo na yun, may malunggay, may konting sahog na meat, monggo and malunggay, okay na yun. Pag andito si Juancho, kailangan ko magluto ng something else apart from the monggo. Kasi hindi siya kakain ng monggo
Uy,
lang.
kumakain ako monggo,
Oh, pero
monggo lang?
kakainin mo ba yun ng monggo lang?
Monggo lang hindi.
O, tingnan mo. So, kailangan may iba. Pero, syempre, nami-miss namin si Juancho. It's easy because Juancho makes it a point that he always figures out systems and ways for him to still be helpful even if he's not at home. So, meron kaming staff that helps around. If I need a driver, he gets a driver for us. He makes sure that everything else is taken care of para ang focus ko lang is to take care of the kids. So, it's good either way. We've found our balance in our system.
Guys, munggo is like a car. And my protein is like the gas.
What?
One cannot function without another.
May protein naman sa monggo, love. Tsaka may meat yun. Gusto mo lang kasi na may crispy na fried something. Yun yung katotohanan doon. Gusto niya may pork chop.
Uy, hindi. Masarap yung pork chop at munggo.
Kaya nga.
Yun ang ganun ang taping food.
The
pork chop,
ultimate.
munggo, or danggit, or
Tama.
Or ano iba yung mga tilapia.
May something deep fried kailangan. Yeah. But it gets hard kapag tuloy-tuloy na wala siya. But most of the time, it's good. Because the kids and I, we found our rhythm.
Yeah.
Di ka naman na-anxious eh.
And yung na yun, it's like a more on I know what my wife is gonna talk about.
One should never gets anxious about anything. Ever.
Uy, hindi, meron na.
Ano?
Oo.
Pag draft pick ng Miami Heat.
Hindi, during the finals. Siyempre kasi lagi nasa finals team ko. I don't know about the other teams.
Okay na.
Not so much, depende sa sickness, of course. Siyempre, lolokohin ko naman sarili ko kung hindi ako na-anxious doon. It just doesn't show. Siyempre, sa work stuff, kasi siyempre responsibility ko yun. Ano pa ba?
Okay na. How do I handle anxiety when kids are sick? Number one, I always remember that God loves my children more than I do. And that their lives, their safety, and their health, their bodies are in His hands. So, parang yun talaga yung number one thing that I really hold on to when the kids are sick is to pray over them, as in I pray over them, and I pray that I don't get sick as well. Because what usually happens is, when the kids are sick, halimbawa may isa sa kanila mauuna, very rarely to, magkakasakit si Eliam or magkakasakit si Aggie. After nyan, may isang may sakit, magkakahawaan yung dalawa. Pag silang dalawa na yung may sakit, tuloy-tuloy yung puyat ko for like 2 to 3 weeks because they're breastfeeding, I'm giving them medicine, I'm checking their temperature, pinupunasan ko sila sa gabi. They want mom when they're sick. So, wala talaga akong tulog. Tapos, ako yung nagkakasakit afterwards, which is harder for the family and for the kids than when they're sick. Because if I'm sick, talagang out talaga. So, yun yung number one. I always pray that I don't get sick and I pray over the kids that their bodies get healed. Because at the end of the day, it's still God that has their lives, right? Pangalawa, I just try to look at and ride it out. Parang I just think about, okay, this is strengthening their immune system because the immune system gets strengthened the more that they're exposed to sickness. It's part of childhood. There are no kids whatsoever that did not go through some level of sickness. Syempre, yung mga sakit, fever, ubo, things like that. And I look at it from a grateful perspective. Nabuti na lang ganun lang yung sakit ng mga bata, diba? Like, very minimal, very basic. And I know there are a lot of families and parents who struggle with more and more complicated, more difficult sicknesses. And I'm very grateful that our kids are very, very healthy. They're very active. And yun nga, I'm grateful na dahil sobrang active nila, alam mo kaagad pag merong something. Pag may sakit sila, pag may naramdaman sila, alam namin kaagad kasi on a day-to-day basis, they're very happy, healthy kids. So, those are the ways that I handle it. And finally, of course, finding the right people to talk to draw strength from. Not just your husband or your family, of course. Yung mommy friends mo talaga sobrang important nun. So, that's how I would handle it.
Quality time. Well, number one, you have to set your expectation on what quality time means for
and
you.
looks like, yeah.
In this point of your life. So, kailangan talaga, syempre, there would be instances where you would have these moments, but we always talk about it, na talaga, one-on-one talaga, di ba? Pero hindi mo naman pwedeng gawin palagi yun kasi because you're taking care of children. So, kami ni Joyce, we try to be very intentional about it, yung quality time namin, na even if the kids are there, they're doing something,
They're
yun na yun.
playing.
Oo, we do our best to have quality time still. And as mentioned in the last Australia podcast, we've been running a lot lately. So our runs have been very very helpful for our marriage because yun nga, we've been training together, we've been spending a lot of time together. Quality time yun para sa atin. And what we do when we run is may mga kids dito around our house that we
That the kids are very close to us.
Yeah.
That our children are very close to.
na nandun sila tuwing
Yeah.
tuwing tumatakbo kami, or kung wala doon, my dad's usually here
Yeah.
or my mom's here. So may mga instances na ganun. So anyway, yun, being very intentional about our quality time is very key.
I think what Wanch is trying to say also is like find the one thing that you guys can do together as a couple that you both enjoy that could serve as quality time. Because like to what you were saying, di ba? Parang,
Ha?
okay ka lang. Humihikap ka na dyan. Na kanina ka pa humihikap.
Kanina pa ba? Hindi naman.
Oo. Nagsasalita ako. Nakikita ko sa peripheral ko.
Guys, yan ang adulting. Okay? You're when you hit 30, you will always be sleepy. And the one time that you're not sleepy is when you're about to sleep. That's adulting right there.
Or having young children right there. Anyway, as I was saying, quality time looks different. Like, quality time does not necessarily mean a 4-hour formal date for you and your husband. Sometimes it's really just an hour to the gym, 30 minutes of a run, or a 30-minute takas coffee date. That's it. And you have to figure that out or find one thing that you guys can do together, whether that's cooking together, swimming together, whatever activity it is na kayong dalawa lang. And also, that's why we're very strict with bedtime. So our kids go to bed at the same time almost every single night. Even when we were in Australia, meron talaga silang routine because that gives us a lot of freedom as a couple to do our own thing. Have a date, kahit sa baba lang, diba? Kahit sa baba lang habang tutulog sila sa taas. It works for us kasi kita namin sila and rested na sila. So, we eat with them.
Yeah.
It's always more fun and they tend to eat more if we eat as a family. So, dati kasi, we've seen other families and couples tell us na pinapauna nilang pakainin yung mga bata.
Yep.
Kasi mas maaga or kasi gusto nilang kumain mag-isa or parang
in peace, so that you can eat in peace.
Yeah, but for our family, medyo nagiging rule/practice na namin na we eat together as a family. And the kids eat more, diba? It's more fun when we're all eating together at the same time.
Yeah. Wala na ako idadagdag
Wala ka
dun.
na idadagdag.
Oo.
Pangalawa, we play music. So, our kids love to listen to music. And sometimes they love to listen to stories. So, we always play music while we're in the table. We, tell stories while we're on the table. We're eating together. We're doing all these things. We try to do that. And pangatlo, we do have rules about whether or not what they eat. So whatever we're eating, that's what we're gonna eat, right? So if we're having sinigang, everyone's having sinigang. If we're having adobo, everyone's having adobo, even if they don't like it. So kapag may mga times, and there will be times na they're being picky or they don't want to eat a lot of food, we just talk to them na, okay, you just have to finish this certain amount and then we can continue playing the music. And then we can play. So parang we set their expectations na after you finish your food, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do something fun, we're gonna, play together, we can go back to your play area. And I find na, especially with Eliam, because he's bigger and he has more understanding of what's going on, that actually gives him a bit more space to have fun and to eat well kasi he knows what to expect. So setting expectations really helps.
Yun. Kasi ako usually, pag ayaw ni Liam kumain, binibigay ko na yung gusto niya.
Na.
I speak in behalf of every father out there.
Dinner time, binigyan ng almond butter na sandwich.
Oh, you want to know? What do you want? Dinner?
Cereals.
Oh, let's eat chocolate cereals. I'm gonna eat with you. See? Kita mo yun. Parang gusto
Wrong.
ko ng chocolate cereals. Meron tayo, di ba?
Okay, next. Help your child be school ready every day. Give them Enfagro A+4. It's the only milk with MFGM and the highest level of DHA among staged milks, clinically proven to help give higher IQ and EQ together with proper nutrition and stimulation. And for your child's developing digestive tract, don't let digestive discomfort interrupt their learning. Give them Enfagro Gently's 3+, which is made with smaller proteins to help with easier digestion versus regular milk. It also has MFGM and the highest DHA among staged milks to help support higher IQ and EQ. May contribution ka ba dito?
Ha? Significant changes in my mental health? I don't notice. Baka
Wala.
Wala? Hindi, siguro in terms of inspiration and
tama.
So in terms of totoo yung sinasabi ng yung mga tao. At saka may nakita kong floating around the quote. I don't know if it was Kuya Kim that really said it, but his picture was used. Parang sinabi niya na I don't want to misquote it or I don't want to spread false news. Pero the quote meant, I'm just gonna sa quote based na lang tayo. Ang sinabi niya doon sa quote na yun was, children are a blessing because pag hindi mo na kaya, sa kanila ka nag-draw ng lakas. Siyempre, in this world iba yung spiritual walk mo, which is very important. But ako, when I don't have the energy to do stuff. And
Inuutos mo sa kanila. Sorry. Ganun pala yun. Iba pala ibig
Hindi,
sabihin.
pero kunyari ako, di ba, sinabi ko naman sa'yo ever since, I have anxiety on hosting.
Mm-hmm.
Di ba, matagal ko na sinasabi sa'yo. Medyo ngayon ko na na-overcome dahil
live events hosting. Because you've been hosting on TV, right?
Yeah, and even that, I would have anxiety on it, diba? So, never ko naman na-overcome yun. At saka, naging komportable na lang din sa akin yung unang hirit during that time because kilala ko na yung mga tao, alam mo yun, out of necessity, I was doing it. And then, when you do itong mga big events, mga corporate events, that's a different thing in itself kasi syempre that's not TV. You see the faces of people and syempre in a corporate setting it's much more formal, X, Y, and Z. Anyway, I would have anxieties on that and even dun sa ibang mga ginagawa ko sa trabaho and even dun sa Maria Clara Tibara. Having said that, there were multiple times na I felt like ayoko na or ayoko na talaga. I feel like quitting, ganyan, or na-anxiety na ako sa maraming bagay. And there's a reason why my wallpaper in my cellphone is my family. Because doon ako nagdo-draw ng, hindi, may mga tao umaasa sa akin. So I have to keep going.
That's nice stuff.
Kita mo? Kala mo wala ang nagbago, ha? Guys, I know I'm not just I know I'm a pretty face. But there's more than what meets the eye. I just wanna say that, ha?
Anyway, we're gonna cut all that off. Anyway.
Okay. Okay, I'll move on.
Ay, nako. For me, did anything change about my mental health? A lot. A lot of things changed. But maybe the one thing that I could focus on for this particular podcast is that I always thought that I had control over things. Like, I could plan my life away. I could always plan things ahead. I could always figure things out. I could always approach things logically. Everything is just about solving problems in my head. And motherhood showed me that it is absolutely not true that you can go on in your life just trying to solve problems and logic your way through things, because my mental health and my perspective on things really changed. It made me more reflective on the mental health of my mental health and how it affects my children. It made me more reflective on my own actions and how it affects my children's mental health and well-being. So in that sense, sobrang nagbago siya. But that could be an entire episode, to be honest. So maybe we'll do one for you guys. But that's it. Yun na ba yun?
Walang ganun eh.
We're always on the same team.
Oo.
Wala kaming good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, walang ganun. A united front is what we want to strive for from here on out. So even calling each other out in front of the kids is an issue that we've talked about also.
Yeah. All right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode of parenting. Well, yun yung mga experiences namin. We're not claiming to be experts at this, but hopefully it's something that you guys enjoyed as well. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye. That's it for this episode of Adulting with Joyce Pring. If you liked this podcast, please don't forget to use the hashtag Adulting with Joyce Pring, and also check out www.joycepring.com for the show notes, and tag me on social media with at Joyce Pring. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Paalam!